Monday morning, February 27th, here on First time, Alan. Got Johnnie J, president and station in the house. We got a lot of topics today. We're going to talk about the music industry. We're going to talk about Iran. We're going to talk about music in Iran, how things are with our brothers and sisters abroad. We're going to talk about a lot of topics. Stay till the end of the show today because we're going to mention some contests, promotions. You're not going to want to hear.
Oh my God.
We love it.
Hi everybody, this is the Godfather Soul James Brown. I tell you, this business is on. My man is on. Check him out. This is the Godfather Soul James Brown saying stay with it and hit it. Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, yes. Okay, now I got to turn up my headphone sound. I think I turned them down yesterday because I was deleting a bunch of emails that I didn't want from yesterday.
How dare you?
Yes. Okay. All right. Welcome to another Monday. It's a beautiful Monday. You can hear the trash man out there doing their thing in the background. So that's always good. Man, that must be a fun job. You get to bang around. Yeah, you know. I think you get a chance to take out all your frustration. When you're a trash guy.
When I grow up, Johnny, I don't want to be DJ anymore. I'm just kidding. Hey, folks, we got sponsors. I want to mention Christian Brothers Moving Company in the great state of Colorado, based out of Englewood. Also in the great state of Arizona, I think they're in Phoenix. And I can never remember where in the great state of Texas they're located. But I tell you what, folks, if you look up Christian Brothers Moving Company, they will help you with all your moving needs. We've got Colorado Art Relief Fund. We got Eeny Meeny Grant. And we've got Denver Venues. Folks, if you want to become a sponsor, hit us up at info@intervisionfm.com. That's also the best way to stay abreast of our topics lists and other essentials that you'll need so that you are informed. We also have current promotions, contests. Oh man, it's crazy out here at Intervision FM.
Yeah.
Do we want to mention the school at this point, or do we want to wait?
Yeah, we'll wait. We want people to share, subscribe, and do that kind of stuff. And we've had like 5 subscribers last week, so keep it up. Tell your friends, subscribe, and continue so you'll know when we go on, and then you can watch the show either live or you can watch it later on. And so tonight, I want to talk about. I'm with this other nonprofit that is called Combo, and they're going to have this how to put on or book a live concert either at your house or I guess in your apartment complex. And, I'm kind of think, I think I might have not on purpose. I might have did that in 2011 when I had Dreamland living here. Yeah, because they would be creating music all the time at all times of the hour. And, because my sleeping hours are erratic anyway, it didn't really matter to me. But, and we had this lady that popped in named Grace Healing, but I guess she said, she popped in and then she popped out. So I'm not sure who that was. But anyway, but we have Lavua here. Am I saying your name right?
Actually, it's LittleHater. You said
LittleHater.
LittleHater. LeThabo. That's the name.
Oh, LittleHater.
Yeah,
And wrong as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we featured you last Friday because when I looked over the show, I said, "Well, we were talking more to the topic than whatever our topics were, and then we had more interesting time with you." So I just renamed that and put it out again. And
Oh, okay.
so that
That's
Now,
not a problem.
now,
yeah.
you are all the way from South Africa. This
Yes,
interests
yes, of course, yes.
this interests me because a lot of our rare earth minerals that go into the electric vehicles come from
Mhm.
Africa.
Yeah,
Uh,
true.
and so, I'm curious, as a blind person,
Mhm,
what you have seen, what you might notice with
mhm,
regard to the mining of these rare minerals. Now, of
mhm,
course, America doesn't want them mined here, even if we
mhm,
had them be mined.
Hmm.
China most assuredly is not mining the rare earth minerals from their end yet.
mhm.
Strangely enough,
It is
China
strange though.
appears to own pretty much 98% of all the rare earth minerals um, through mineral rights all over the planet, allegedly.
Hmm. Yeah, but is are the people getting paid for this? Are they getting training and how to do it safely and be a part of that,
Mm,
that money making thing? And because I understand oil, they've been finding like oil over there too, and it's like, are they just using their own people, like from China or from India or whatever? They use their own people and not using the people there to train them in these high tech jobs. I mean, what do you think? Or what are you hearing?
Okay. Well, what I can say is sometimes it depends because when here in South Africa though, there's a lot of illegal mining activity that's happening. All
Oh,
these all these people, we call them zamazamas because of why. The reason is they do illegal mining where they mine for gold, where the shafts mining shafts are like closed for many years, and then they just go there and just dig themselves in those shafts, and then they just do uh you know irregular stuff. And
Hmm.
sometimes even they get arrested, but sometimes they just release them. Then all of a sudden they're just back there where they have arrested them, and then they just continue where they left off. And
as go
yeah,
ahead.
and yeah, and also because I heard you were talking about electric cars in this process. Uh from my knowledge, I'm not too sure if there are components that have been used, but I know for sure they use like copper.
Hmm.
But I'm not sure if they use gold or something like that, because gold obviously comes from South Africa. I'm not sure about copper, but yeah, but
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
yeah. So that's the
this is
one
my
thing that I
problem.
know for
It's
sure.
like
Yeah.
these other countries, they come in and they want to bring in their people to give jobs to their people. But I'm saying it should
Mhm.
be half and half, half their
Yeah, it should be
people,
half and
half,
half. Yeah.
yeah, or and even I would even say 60-40, 40 them,
Mm-hmm.
60
60
60
hours.
the people that are there, because
Yeah.
it's your guys' country. It's like, why not?
Yeah, but look at it this way, because obviously when politicians they do stuff, they don't like literally get into details when it comes to mineral sources. Even now I was looking at this there was this other YouTube video that I was looking at. It's an SABC News video on
Mm,
the YouTube channel. They were talking about the state of the electricity here in South Africa.
mm,
So the things that they were just looking at is that they just don't mix together, you know,
mm,
and sometimes it's just something that it's just a mere fact when it comes to like mineral energy sources. Like for
mm,
instance, let's say, for example, you take let's say uh, an EV, right? Let's say,
Right.
for
Mhm.
example, we take Mercedes-Benz EQ, um, and then you bring it to South Africa. How will it survive? Because it needs a charging booth, obviously. Or
Hmm.
if you take a Nissan Leaf, it'll also need a charging booth, you know.
Hmm.
So here in South Africa, we don't have those such infrastructures. Even
Yeah.
ESCOM is just also uh not um adequate when it comes to their energy supplies and everything like that. Because like even now, when I woke up like this morning, I was like thinking, what stage are we in? Because already we are on stage 4, stage 5, and yesterday we were on stage 6, which is the worst one because of it kills off the cellular networks and everything like that.
Hmm.
So it's something that also triggers a lot of negative emotion when it comes to trusting politicians. You
Yeah,
know?
I know. I mean, they need someone
Yeah.
that knows what is it, the art of deal. I was reading that Trump book and was talking about like, negotiating and
Mm-hmm.
working out a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like these guys, and I don't know what's happening to them. They get into the negotiating room and
Mm-hmm.
then they just give the whole country away. And it's like, come on, you have leverage. You can
Yeah, yeah,
say, yeah,
yeah.
you have leverage, and they don't realize that. So maybe like Trump can start up a school called the deal of the art, or the art of the deal, or something like that. And so
Mm-hmm.
for leaders,
Mm-hmm.
if you're caught in the position of being
Mm-hmm.
a leader, because you figure like you campaign, you get into office, and then you stop
Yeah,
learning, and you say, no, that should be the time that you're
yeah,
getting mentors and learning more, so you can
yeah,
provide for your people, you
yeah.
know. But but then you said it's kind of, this is another negative. We have this guy over in Iran who I guess he's a rapper and an
Mm-hmm.
artist, and I guess the government said like he blasphemed, so they want to put the guy to death. And I'm thinking like, whoa. I said, I guess he was going back and forth to his country and back and stuff like that, and
Mm-hmm.
they don't like what he was saying in his rap lyrics. And I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, I mean, that is really backwards where they'll,
But okay, sorry to cut you there. Sorry to
yeah,
cut you there.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
but okay, but why do governments sometimes like they just um interfere when it comes to music? Because of the one thing, they support them with money, right?
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, but why do they interfere when it comes to someone doing music? Say, for example, um, if somebody is doing music and then okay, and a government official just comes in and say, okay, hey, you are doing this and this and this, and we didn't like it as the government officials, and and like, what is it for them though? Because of if if you are like doing, let's say for example, hip hop songs, and then you just okay, you are acknowledged, but your music it's not loved, then it becomes something, it
Mhm.
becomes something like problematic, because for example, because last week I was listening to late AKA's album called Mess Music. I mean no, Mess Country, sorry.
Mhm.
I was listening to it. Like it was really, really loved, and I was also watching this podcast by McG. They were talking about it. I was like, okay, that's something that it can be a memorable album of some sort. But coming back to the conversation that at hand is that sometimes governments don't have to be that harsh,
All
because they
right.
are like, say for example, here in South Africa, there are a lot of organizations that do awards. Like say for example, Metro FM, they are going to be doing their awards for the first time in and I don't know in how many years, but there are others as well, like some awards. There are quite a lot of um organizations that they do awards, but they support artists when it comes to music and copyrights and everything like that. But when it comes to governments, it's something that I don't really even agree with that, because I mean, you can't just say to a person, okay, I don't love your music, but I acknowledge your work. How can you say that? And it doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't motivate that person. That's my opinion when it comes to that.
Hey, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Back in 2005, I had I found this ad, and it said they'll sell you like a 1-watt transmitter.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, because you're supposed to be able to here we have, I don't know what they have out there. We have movie theater, outdoor movie theaters, that they have this thing where they can broadcast on the FM radio dial while you're at the movie, but it can't go as far as it can't go more than a block or 2 blocks from that movie theater.
Right.
Well, with the 1 watt, I went about I think 12 blocks east, west, south, and north. Right, and people were starting to listen to the station, and we had this magazine that wrote up a story on it, and then all of a sudden I heard outside, and it was the FCC saying, we have found that you've been transmitting, and you have 3 choices. And the 3 choices was give up my equipment, pay a fine, or go to jail.
What?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So it cost me $400, and I guess I had money to burn. Oh, healed by grace, that's the person. And so I just gave them the equipment. And in South Africa, do they have regulations on broadcasting where you just can't buy a transmitter and start broadcasting without talking to the government first?
On that one, I'm not too sure, because I don't have much I don't have much information, or I don't know much about it.
I'm gonna check into that. Oh, the new person that just came in.
There's someone who just came in just now. I think it's Grace.
Grace.
Yes, healed by grace. Yeah.
So
as I was saying,
what was the topic that you wanted to chime in on, Miss Grace?
Yeah. Okay.
No, go ahead.
Okay. As I was saying, like, say for example, I don't want to mention the company I'm working for, but what we do, we also have a radio station, but we just we just broadcast, because it's like we do stuff like on a I can say on a legal basis.
Right.
They do have what you call, like, your like what you call legal laws for that,
which govern.
So that's one thing that I can say. But if you want to ask questions, you can ask me questions, no problem.
Yeah, because what we used to have the station that they put the transmitter in a van, and they would just drive from different locations to different locations. So the FCC couldn't catch up with them, because it was always in a different location, within the range of where they were broadcasting.
Actually, back to the original question that you asked, Letabo, it around why do governments want to get involved? Well, music has the power to unite the world. It has the power to bring exposure to certain topics that might be a hot button issue for politicians and those within our local, state, and federal governments. And so therefore there are regulations in place not only to keep the public safe from what's now being called misinformation, disinformation, propaganda, things like that. But let's you've got a well, this was more prevalent back in the day when everything was analog. But what would happen is if somebody was transmitting using a 1 watt transmitter, a 5 watt transmitter, even a 10 watt amplification transmitter, is it would bleed into the television programming. So consequently, people would get programming that they wouldn't want.
Yeah.
Except, but to, go ahead and report that. So
Yeah.
there are regulations in place via the FCC here in the United States. And there are many other regulatory bodies all around the world that do similar things, make sure that, that these kinds of things don't happen. But mainly these days, the unity of the world, people talk. They want everybody to think that they want everybody to unite when in fact their division and their propaganda says otherwise. At least that's what I've been made to understand.
So, Hill by Grace, did you have anything that you wanted to add to this conversation?
Hi, good evening to everyone on the live chat. My name is Ian Naidu, and I go by Heal by Grace. Yeah. So a very great topic. I'm actually learning with regards to shortwave, M radio stuff. So if we don't have laws and conform by the laws, then we'll have people doing their own things all over the world.
That's right.
There'll be more unruly behavior on the airwaves, and that will now allow room for terrorists to thrive on the airwaves.
You very valid.
So
that's valid, yeah.
And with regards to the interference of frequencies over the TV channels, that's one of the things that we are learning when it comes to ham radio, how to make sure you're not interfering with your neighbor's frequency and stuff like that. So it's very important that people follow the bylaws and the laws with regards to radio. But thank God for the internet. It's much easier. There's more control and less interference.
Absolutely.
That is true. That's true.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. That helps us with the algorithms on whatever platform you might be listening. This program looks like Johnny went away.
Yeah, just went away just now.
Okay, so anyway, we are listener supported as well as sponsor supported. If you want to help us out with donations, paypal.me/IntervisionDenver is the best way to help us out. We do have a number of different ways that you can help us. We've got a merchandise store. You can find our events page on www.intervisionrecords.org. That's www.intervisionrecords.org. And, we just want to unite the world through music. We want to try to promote grassroots musicians, whether they're physically disabled or otherwise financially challenged. It is a rough time for everybody. We're experiencing worldwide inflation. There are rumors of wars. There are wars going on. There's famine going on. There are ecological and environmental disasters. And we believe the only one way to really lock in your safety and your security is through eternal salvation. Now, we do understand that, folks, not everybody is bent the way that we are, but we believe we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the Lord Jesus Christ. And 1 Corinthians chapter 15 is the best way to find a good blueprint on the eternal salvation offered by Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Amen. Is it Alan speaking there by chance?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Alan. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Oh, Alan, I didn't know you're a born again man. Welcome to the kingdom.
So, folks, I mean, we are a God-fearing nation here in the United States. Sometimes it's not always evident. There are still a few of us left that are, for lack of better terminology, sold out to our Lord Jesus Christ. Without too much of the Bible thumpy, that's kind of the bent of the thrust of what we try to do with intervisionfm.com. We are live 365. If you have a smart speaker, you can catch us on TuneIn as well as a number of different other platforms. If you ask your Google device or Echo device to play KINV-DB Intervision FM, you should be able to tune us in there. But we're on YouTube and Facebook and Getter and True Social and Rumble and a few other different platforms. So that pretty much takes care of the station identification. Until Johnny rejoins us here, what else? We're going to talk about a bunch of different topics. But let's go ahead and open this up a little bit. We were talking a little bit earlier, Latavo, Johnny, and I, about strip mining. And we were talking about the mining that happens in South Africa. One thing to understand and to realize, all the deep mining equipment is powered by petroleum products, gas, oil, diesel, things like that. So we're not quite where we wanted to be there, but we are working towards a better and more green future and something that's going to be more sustainable. You had something you wanted to say, Ian?
Alan, thank you so much for being so kind, man. Just rewinding a bit there, with regards to the platforms, is Intervision by any chance on Radio FM?
Oh, terrestrial radio?
Yeah.
We are working to get onto iHeartRadio and some of the other terrestrial radio platforms available via the internet. And we do have a station, I believe Johnny himself is working for, that carries some of the broadcasts. We are also available locally on Comcast. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's channel 56 here in the Denver area of Denver, Colorado. But as far as terrestrial radio, boy, I'm not sure that we have. Hang on, I just got a text, Johnny.
No, you can answer me some other time. Not a problem. I just wanted to know because we got an app here. It's called Radio FM, and America's got like about 10,000 stations on it. So I just thought maybe you were listed on that platform.
Wait, Ian, are you talking about? Isn't it Radio ZA or something like that?
No, Radio FM.
Radio FM. I'm not familiar with it.
It's an app. You download it onto your mobile or your smartphone, and then you can listen to any radio station basically in any part of the world.
Oh, okay. Isn't it like what you call now? Isn't it like accessible on like also on PC, like by website or by internet?
Yeah, so if you go to intervisionfm.com, you will be able to enjoy 24-hour a day, 7-day a week programming.
Okay.
Things from different recording artists, past interviews that Johnny and I have done over the years, as well as some interviews before I came on board. Let's see what else. We've got a number of different things that Johnny is doing. And that brings us to the school. Johnny has started a DJ school of sorts. And if you're in the States, you can certainly take advantage of this if you are disabled. We serve the veteran community. We serve the disabled community at large. And so that bears mentioning. www.intervisionrecords.org. If you visit that particular website, as well as on the Intervision FM main page at www.intervisionfm.com, you will see the different events, and the school is also featured. So basically, there's a 16-week course that kind of helps people to get their feet wet. Now, obviously, this course isn't a replacement for having a broadcasting degree or a journalism degree, but it does get your feet wet. And if you're disabled, it does give a possible income stream should you want to take advantage of it. So, because here just in the United States, 65 to 90% of the blind community, for instance, are unemployed, depending on which statistics you look at. I suspect the unemployment rate within the blind community worldwide is also fairly high. And so we aim to put the power of broadcasting into the hands of the people, most specifically my brothers and sisters in the disabled community.
Wow.
So that's really cool. In fact, you guys belong to a group, and so do I. We all belong to a group that features DJs, recording artists, musicians, all over.
True.
And
I just want to ask you something, Ellen. Because since me and Ian, we are from South Africa.
Right.
So I just want to know, like, if you want to partake in that school, like, how do you like register, or some sort, or like, if you want to like enroll for that school, like, how do you do that?
That's a really good question, and I think
because
in the future,
because you know why I'm asking, because I might prefer to do it online than like fly over, because it can be a bit of a challenge sometimes, so that's what I'm asking.
I will tell you this, for the short term, I think because it's not available in all countries just yet, because we belong to the WhatsApp group that we belong to, and because I myself will be going through the program here really shortly, I'll be happy to share whatever information I find with the group and with you good folks as well. And of course, this being broadcast on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, True Social, a number of different other platforms, we aim to reach as many disabled folks as possible. So we want to put all the cookies on the lower shelf, but we do need funding. That's just the bottom line. So as funding permits and things, we will do some expansion. Right now, this, I believe, is only available in the United States. But as I do say, man, I'm going to be sharing whatever I can with everybody.
Okay. No, it's understandable, because I was just asking because imagine like flying to USA and then you don't know where to go, and then they would ask you, do you have a green card or not? And then if you say you don't, then they will like just turn you away, and then you don't know where else to go. So that's one thing that I was asking all about.
Yeah. Now we are about 4 minutes over, so let's go ahead and see if we couldn't wrap this up. Are there additional questions that you have with regard to the topics covered? We didn't even hit any of the topics that we wanted to, and I do apologize, folks. We'll see if we can hit some of that tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, it's dealing with the music industry. We've got a recording artist that we'll be featuring, so you're not going to want to miss that. We'll see if we can also hit the topics we didn't mention today. But do you guys have any additionals or?
Well, like from my side, I don't have any additionals, but from my side, I would like to learn how to broadcast on radio, also to learn how to do a podcast, because that's my main goal to do a podcast. Because like I've been watching many podcasts like Aaron's Opinion. I've been watching it for a year now. And also I've been watching this other podcast, the South African podcast. Yeah, it's I think it's called Podcast and Chill by MacG. So yeah, I've been watching that for I think for a few months now. So yeah, I want to learn how to, do a podcast and everything like that. So yeah.
It looks like Johnny Johnson just popped back in.
Yeah, he just
Yes.
popped in.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether you
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Ira.
Your question, but these guys were curious. Is the school that you started with intervisionfm.com available outside of the United States?
Well, that depends. If you have a DVR counselor, I mean, yes, because I'm trying to get where the blind people are not paying for it themselves,
right?
Out of their pocket. Otherwise, I mean, it's open to everybody. But I just wanted to make it where blind people are not paying for it out of their pocket, and then with that money, I can pay them like a stipend out of the money that DVR is paying for the class. So they're getting paid like weekly for the classes that they're doing.
Wow. Amazing, Johnny.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing.
I got a question. When you talk about the green, you mentioned something about green to do in the environment, Alan.
Yeah.
Am I right? So I wanted to just make a observation.
Okay.
Recently, the people in the disability community are like shunned away from participating in activities with regards to making their voices known with regards to the environmental.
True.
And
Yeah.
going green and stuff like that. So I would like to know how Innovision can make this happen, so that we could toy means picketing in Zulu language. Picketing and holding placards and going around the world, and because I think if people with disabilities voice their opinion and are visible, the leaders will start recognizing, what we are failing.
Wow, that is a very good question. And I've got to agree with you. The Green New Deal does not always address, or does not always have, in my mind, those who are disabled, specifically blind, in mind. If an electric vehicle is traveling at above 15 miles an hour, those things are silent. So for all intents and purposes, they're cloaked. For us, I mean, if we're standing at a red light or a street corner and these electric vehicles are coming at us, we're not going to hear them until they're right on top of us. And so, and then if they drop below 15 miles an hour, they apparently make a noise. But we only have the word of the regulators that say that all of these car manufacturers that make electric vehicles will stay within the regulatory means set down by the lawmakers and legislators. And I love to trust everybody and I love to take their word for it. But by golly, when you've got a multi-thousand-pound vehicle coming at you, or a multi-thousand-pound vehicle at a stop, am I going to be able to independently travel? Am I going to independently be able to cross that street knowing where that vehicle is, or that fleet of vehicles stopped at that red light? So you bring up a very, very valid point there, Ian, Healed by Grace. I think that that should be addressed. And intervisionfm.com is working in partnership with a sort of organization that really is based in the United States, centered around the United States Constitution, but it aims to hold all governments accountable for the laws and legislation which is being passed. That is called the Center for Government Accountability. I've started it with a veteran friend of mine, and you can check out our website at www.accountabilityrevolution.com. Right now, you'll have to bear with us because it's just us two. But as folks do really start to realize, no, we need to hold our friends and our colleagues accountable in governments worldwide.
And right now they're testing those cars, and a lot. What makes me even more scary is the ones that run by themselves, that they don't recognize people in the street.
Yeah,
that is even more scary.
It is. Yeah, it is scary. It is.
So, I got a nice idea, Mr. Johnny. You know, Nelson Mandela was quite a statesman. And I got an idea to use a ventriloquist doll. And I'll share that in the next meeting. I'm
not sure if tomorrow I'll be
if Alan agrees for me to give him a private chat, and then he can run it by you, Johnny, and if it's okay with you, then we can maybe talk about it, you know.
Okay. Tomorrow we're going to be interviewing this musical artist he's putting out an album, Mr. Jones. But if we want to do like a full show, and we can probably do it like Wednesday, because that's open. So
yeah, I think that'll be
nice, Johnny. Let me tell you that Nelson Mandela is a wonderful man, and everybody respects him, sir. So I think if we just very well, if you do that for me on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, you guys. Hey, sorry about the for some reason the FBI, CIA, or somebody is closing my computer down at crazy time. So, and my wife asked me, "Do I have a virus?" I said, "I don't know." So, sorry about that. We're gonna close the show because I got a appointment at 10:30. But thanks for very good conversation. We didn't get a chance to talk about that movie that was made in 1947 called Gentleman's Agreement.
That was a 1947 flick. So if you can find it, check it out, man. It's great. We'll see if we can do it tomorrow.
What is the name of the movie again?
It's called Gentleman Agreement, and that's just GENTLEMAN, and then Agreement, and 1947. But the concept is very great, and you'll find out. It's about this reporter who went undercover as a Jewish person to see how they're being treated, and you'll see a lot of parallels to how blind people are being treated, how Black people are being treated. Just and it's like they call it a gentleman agreement that we're going to keep these people out of our houses, out of our jobs, and we just have only a Gentile job. And a lot of Jewish people, they change their names just so they can get a job.
Oh, okay.
So really good.
Kind of interesting. Maybe I might check it out on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I mean it's there. I think it's on Apple TV. I got an Apple TV, Amazon, and it's just very well made movie. And I especially like the end of it. But I won't spoil it for anybody here. So
God bless everybody. We will see you guys tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Oh yeah, definitely.
God bless you too, guys.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
I will check you guys on Wednesday.